Good morning everyone. So today we are going to start coordinate geometry and this is our first session on coordinate geometry. So I have kept on agenda here. You can see this topic we had already discussed in class 9, but still we will do a small recap for this. So in this we will be discussing how many axes are there, like x-axis, y-axis, and the other name being used for them as abscissa and ordinate, and we'll be seeing how many quadrants are there, and we'll be discussing in recap how to locate a point, how to describe the position of a point. Now after describing everything, then we will be seeing what is the real life usage of coordinate geometry. It's a very interesting topic, like Google Maps or pilots, those who all are related to navigation tools, they all are using coordinate geometry only to locate a point. Okay, we will be discussing a little in detail. After that, we'll be seeing a new formula in this chapter. Not in this chapter, this is the first formula in the chapter and new to you, and it is very easy, which is called distance formula. Using distance formula, we will be finding how much is the distance between the 2 points. Based on this, there is exercise 7.1. Among that, from that, we will be doing question number 1 to 5. It is so easy. Once you understand the formula, you can directly apply it and do it. Okay, and when we are dealing with exercise 7.1, 1 to 5, you might be encountering the keyword like collinear, which I'll be discussing when I explain the problem. So let's start the class. Now here, whatever is the plane surface, you will just call it as a plane 1, and this plane can be divided into 4 different parts. Okay, so with the help of 2 axes, which is x-axis and y-axis. So what is x-axis? Is it horizontal or vertical? Always remember, a horizontal line is x-axis. I am just doing a recap, I am not going much in detail. This is x-axis, okay, this is x, and on your left side it will be x dash, which is the negative number, and in the middle it gets divided by y-axis, and the above one is positive y-axis and below is y dash, it is negative 1. So like this my whole plane page, or a plane in mathematics if you can say, is being divided into 4 different parts, right? And where they are meeting, it is called origin. What it is called? Origin. You all must be knowing this, but still I am doing a recap so that there is no confusion when we deal with the exercises. Now on your right hand side of your x-axis always positive numbers, and here negative numbers, and on y-axis it is always positive above and below it will be negative. Now what to understand in this is, when we say the plane is divided into 4 different parts and they are called as quadrants. So this is first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and this is fourth quadrant. So always remember this order, never ever change the order of these quadrants, otherwise it will change the meaning. Just remember this anti-clockwise direction. Okay, you start from here, from right side, then you will go to left side and go. Anti-clockwise is a simple word which you can understand. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Now to describe the position of any point, it is so easy with the help of, there are n number of ways to describe the position. You can describe the position of a point using its coordinates, or using quadrants, or else you can say by using the distance, how much distance it is away from it. So for example, here in quadrant, if I locate any point, so for example I am just writing here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 something, done. And here I am keeping 1, 2, 3, 4. If someone says me to locate the point 3, 2, always remember when it is given 3, 2, the first coordinate is always a x coordinate, and the second one is always a y coordinate. Done. So x coordinate is 3, and from 3 line I have to locate where is 2 from y. Okay. This is 3, and from here it is y, and this is nothing but your 3, 2. So if you see it carefully, the x coordinate always shows the horizontal distance from the origin, okay, how much it is away. And when you look for your y axis, it always shows how much it is in a height from origin. Are you seeing? It is the height, right? And it is a horizontal distance. So you can just keep 2 words to remember. Always x axis shows how much it is away from origin. Y is saying height of the origin, height from the origin. So it is also away, but you can just to differentiate, you can understand x always shows how much it is away from origin, and y always shows how much it is having the height from the origin on an x-axis. So like this we are having the point. For example, when you give a point, you can give any name A, B, C, but always try to use capital letters. It is the best practice. It is a correct practice. Okay? So I am locating this point A on this plane and describing its position when I write 3, 2. So it means that this point A is 3 units away from x-axis and 2 units away from the origin on y-axis. Okay? Now, first method is this one to describe the position. The second method is, where is A in the plane? So I can simply say it is located in first quadrant. Finish. I don't have to describe much. I can just say even the first quadrant. So these are the two ways which you can describe, which you can use to describe the position of any point. Now after this, we have learned how many, let us recap, how many axes are there? 2 axes. Always remember, enrich your vocabulary. Axis is singular. Axis, it is plural. Never ever say axes. It is axis and it is axis. There is a little difference in, very little difference in pronunciation. So axis plural form is axis. So there are how many axes in a coordinate geometry or in a coordinate plane? Then you have to say there are 2. And what is the first name for this one is x coordinate. What will you read it as? X coordinate. And the second number is also, digit is called as y coordinate. Okay? X coordinate and y coordinate. This is x and this is y. Done? Now, there are 2 other names which is also being used for x coordinate, and it is called abscissa. For example, x coordinates are also called as abscissa. Abscissa. Here I can say, what is abscissa for point A? So you should say it's 3. In either way, other way I can ask you like, what is the x coordinate of point A? You have to say 3 only. So there are 2 names for x coordinate. Also you can say an abscissa. And similarly y coordinate also you can say, and for the second name for y coordinate is ordinate. What it is? Ordinate. So this was the just small recap for from your class 9, so that you can just build your information. Why are we using coordinate geometry? It is to locate the point, how to locate the point. If you need any more practice in locating the point, I'll help you out. But as far as I remember, you all are quite good in locating the points, so I'm not going much in detail for locating the points. But still, if you have any problem, you are most welcome to clear your doubts. So like this, we have completed our basic thing. Now I'll be explaining you what do you mean by distance formula. Okay, before that, on the agenda we had said that we'll be discussing where this coordinate geometry actually being used. It is mostly used in navigation areas or navigation field profession. Like for example, if there is a pilot, if it has to locate its airport where it has to land, the longitude and latitude, if you see, our globe is there, right? And these are the imaginary lines on the globe through which the pilots will locate a particular point. So when they are locating a particular point, this little area or the region is acting as a coordinate plane, where it will be giving you the location. From x-axis you have to move this direction, from y-axis you have to go move forward. So this is how coordinate geometry real life application is there. So never ever think this chapter is just too simple. Of course it is simple, but you can't say it is not useful in real life. For example, even if you have to describe the position of any object from in your home, you have to just make it as one point as the center of reference. This particular dustbin or fan or anything you can say is this many units away from this sofa. You can just describe. So when you describe something, it gives the person the exact location. Even you can describe the location of your house. Okay? So only the 2 things which you require is from here, what is the reference point we are using? Origin. But when you give direction to your friend of your house or something, you have to first have a reference point. From this particular point, you have to go to left or go to right, move forward like this. So coordinate geometry is that part only, but unconsciously we are not aware that it is a particular name related to coordinate geometry, but on paper it looks like this. Okay? So when what is the life skill you will learn from this coordinate geometry is how to describe the position of a point, and it will help you a lot when you give direction to any person of a particular place. Giving directions is also a very good skill and very important skill in our lives. Okay? Now let's start the distance formula. What does it mean and how to use it? Now let's try to understand what is actually the distance formula is. Now here, as we can see, it's a coordinate plane. Here where x-axis, x and x dash is written. Okay. Here I wanted to ask you what is wrong in this, but as the time is less, I'll just directly give you. So what is here? The horizontal one is x-axis, and here x dash, and here y, and here y dash, right? So, and the meeting point of this is called origin, and here x is also 0 and y is also 0. Why it is 0? What is the horizontal distance from this point on the x-axis? It's 0. What is the height of this point from this point to y-axis? It is nothing, it is 0. That's why this point is called, the coordinate of this point is 0, 0, and it is called origin. Done? Now what is distance formula? See, when you try to understand this concept, first you should learn how to visualize the concept in your mind. Okay? For example, if I say point A is here and point B somewhere, anywhere you can take, I'll just take here point B. Done? Now if I want to find what is the distance between them, there are n number of ways. If it is a graphical paper, you can just count how many squares it is passing, and you can just count and say these many units if it is a graph paper. Now if you are having a scale, simply you can keep scale and you can mark it and say this many distance, this much distance, 7 centimeter or 2 centimeter, whatever. But without using formula, without using graphical paper, how to find out the distance between the two given points? Okay? So if for example, if I am telling this is x1, y1, why I am writing 1, 1 here? These are the coordinates of first point A. Okay? x1, y1. And what coordinate names I can give here? x2, y2. If there are 2 points like this, the distance formula says that without any graphical paper or without any scale, simply you can use this distance formula. And please do write this distance formula in your formula chart. Okay? So distance formula is equal to. How to write this distance formula? Simply it will be a side heading for you. The distance between A to B is written as AB. How do we write? AB. AB means from A to B is equals to square root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Done? This is the formula given in your reader. But don't get confused. Even if you write x1 first and x2 afterwards, not to worry, your answer will remain same. Now you might be having a question how it will be same. For example, if it is 3 minus 2, it is 1. 2 minus 3, it is minus 1. But due to this power 2, everything will get nullified. All the mistakes will just get clear due to this square. So not to worry, but it is always a good idea to remember what is given in the reader. So x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square under square root. And how to write AB? For example, the point's name here is, for example, C and D. So what will you write here? CD. This shows that the distance from A to B is so and so. So this is our distance formula. Now based on this formula, we will be starting our exercise 7.1, and I'll show you how to calculate using this. Here you can see exercise 7.1. The first question says find the distance between the following pair of points. So I'll be showing you the first bit and I'll be showing you third bit. The second bit will be your homework. So using distance formula, how to solve it, we will see. And based on this, once you understand the question number 1, then directly you will be getting the next questions. Now, if you turn the page, take out page number 158. Okay? Page number 158, remarks are given. Always have the habit to highlight the important points in your reader. It will increase your reading skills, and to highlight and to scan the book wherever it is important, it will help you a lot. Okay? So highlight this. It is giving you one conclusion that if you are being asked to find out the distance from the origin, you just simply have to write x square plus y square. No need of x2 minus x1, because here you can just see the other coordinate is, for example, x2 minus x1. origin itself is 0 here and 0. So the number itself will be left out. So directly you can say x square plus y square. Even if you use this formula also, you will get the same answer. If you use this formula also, you will get the same answer. Now here the second remark, he is saying that we can also write PQ is equals to this in this way also. In this way and in this way. And he is asking the question why. This why we have discussed in the video only. You can just have a look there. So please do highlight this remark. So whenever you refer a reader, always remember whichever is the subject, you just have to highlight the remark or read the remark. Okay? Some points will be given which will be useful for you to solve the problems. So till now that remark is okay for you as per this exercise. If I find any more remark, I will let you know and you should highlight it. Let's start solving question number 1 first bit. The 2 points given here is 2, 3 and 4, 1 and he is asking us to find out the distance between them. So how to find out the distance? First, let's name it as x1, y1. Okay? 2, 3 x1, y1 and 4, 1 as x2, y2. So we are trying to say here this is the second point, this is the first point. Done? Now even you can interchange also. You can take 4, 1 first and 2, 3, doesn't matter. It makes no difference when 2 points are given. Now write down distance formula. By distance formula, what is the name you are giving here? There is an option that you can even give the letters, your favorite letter. You can give A, B, C, D or anything you can give, but do write capital letters only to name the points. Okay? So I am writing AB is equals to, first let us write down the formula, x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Done? Now it is equals to, what is x2 here? 4 minus 2 whole square. Be very careful, don't do any mistake in substitution. So here after substitution you will be getting, after a careful substitution you will be getting answer like 4 plus 4 and it is root 8, and this root 8 is not a perfect square root, so try to split it into 2 parts. 4 2s are 8 where you can get a perfect square. The square root of 4 is 2, so it will come out and root 2 remains inside only. So this is how we have completed our question number 1 and first bit. Now I will be explaining you the third bit, second bit where you will do it as homework. For the first step is name your point C, D, any letter, but do give capital letter only. The second step x1, y1, x2, y2 and the distance formula you have to write and use these letters which you have used for naming the points. Okay, I have used here C and D, so you have to use C and D. You can write whatever letter, you have to use here the same. It saves your time. Okay. Now after substitution, here you can see they are like terms. So minus a, same sign. There are two negative a, so minus 2a. Same goes for minus 2b. And when you open square, it will minus into minus plus. 2 2s are 4, a square. And here also same. And 4 is common in both, so I will take out 4 as common. And the square root of 4 is 2. It comes out of the root. And root a square plus b square will remain same. So by this we have completed our first question and we have seen how to use distance formula. Then the next question will be doing second question, in which he is asking to find out the distance from the origin. So let's see how to solve it. Now let's do question number 2. Find the distance between the points 0, 0 and 36, 15. Can you now find the distance between the two towns A and B discussed in section 7.2? So let's check it out in section 7.2 what is actually given. This is section 7.2 and it is the town given. Here he has given a town B is located 36 km east and 15 km north from town A. So the position of B is being given. So if I want to find out what is the coordinate of point A, it is nothing but that's the origin. So 0, 0. It is a reference point. Okay? Now from this, how much is the distance they have given? So this is the distance, 36 km in east direction and 15 km in north direction. So if I want to write the coordinate of point B, then I have to write from here it is x-axis and it is here y-axis. So it is 36, 15. Now if you come back to your question number 2, he is just trying to ask us to relate this question with that section 7.2. So don't you think the points are same? So simply directly we'll find out the distance, and he is asking can you now find. So we can just say it is same as the distance between 0, 0 and 36, 15. So now let's start doing the solution. So question number 2. 0, 0 is one point. I will give name as point A, and here point B is what? 36, 15. So x1, y1, x2, y2. Distance formula is AB is equals to x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. And it is equals to how much? What is our x2? 36 minus 0 whole square plus 15 minus 0 whole square. That's what I was trying to bring it to your notice, the remark. Here one point is origin, so obviously the second point itself, the square will be the distance. So you need not to do all this, simply directly you can say x square plus y square, but still I am showing you so that you can find out the difference. Whichever method you feel easy you can do. I am writing the numbers directly, you can do multiplication and do it. 15, 1, 5, 2, 1. You have to find out the LCM of it. Once you find out LCM, you will be seeing you are getting the square root as 36, and this is the unit. Let's complete the second part. Can you find out the distance? So yes, we can find out the distance between towns A and B, and the distance is equals to, now here you will not write distance equal to 39 units, you have to write 39 kilometers. Why kilometers? Because there in the graph the distance was given in kilometers, right? So this is our question number 2. Now let's go to question number 3. In this question number 3 he says determine if the points, these 3 points are collinear. Always remember when he says the word collinear, collinear means lying on the same line. Okay? So when the 3 points are lying on the same line, so don't you think the distance between them will be equal? Like for example A, B, C. If I am trying to show these points on one line only, so AB, the distance between A to B, and B plus C will be equal to the whole length of AC, isn't it? So like this we have to prove the collinearity of the points. It means that we have to do 3 parts, AB, BC and AC. And when you sum here, it should be equal to the total length of C. For example, if you are getting some AB, A, B, C is there, you are getting some answer as A. Not answer as A, let me give 2 units. Okay? BC as some units as 3 units. And if you find AC and it is equals to 6 units. So are you not seeing here? Here we are saying 2, here we are saying 3 units. When you sum up, you should get 5 units. But on finding with AC, you are getting 6. Imagine, for example, then it means that this is not collinear. Not collinear. Done? So the condition to be, for the points to be collinear is the distance between the 2 different points should be equal to the sum of the whole length of your line. Okay? Sum of the bits and parts should give you the length of the whole line. So everyone in your formula chart, write down formula chart. This is a note. Always remember, if points A, B and C are collinear, please do write this in your notes. Then draw the picturization so that you will understand collinear means they lie on the same line. Okay? Then what happens? The bits and parts AB plus BC should be equal to the length, whole length from A to C. Very, very important condition. If you don't know this, then you can't solve this problem. Please do it. Okay? After writing this, for your understanding, write down collinear means lying on the same line. If I say points, then you should say points lying on the same line. Okay? Collinear means lying on same line. The keyword which I discussed in the starting is this. So please do write this note and do write this start point. Okay? Write down this start point, then we will start the solution. In question number 3, what 3 points are given? Let us write. What is the first step? Always give name to the point. I am giving name as A, 1, 5. second point I am giving as 2 comma 3, C as the third point minus 2 comma minus 11. Now second step will be give names to them. First point as 1 1, second point as 2 2, and third point as x3 y3. Okay. Now first we will write the condition there. To be collinear, you just give a picturization using a diagram. What is the condition we all have seen? AB plus BC should be equal to AC. Now we will try to look for this condition is satisfying or not. Now the first step is AB. AB is equals to, what is our A? 1 comma 5 and B is 2 comma 3. Done. Write down x1 y1 x2 y2. AB is equals to x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. It is equals to, how much it will be equal to? Substitute the values. 2 minus 1 whole square plus 3 minus 5 whole square, and it is equals to root 1 plus 4, and it is equals to root 5. Done. In similar way you have to write down BC. Okay. Now when you take BC, you will be writing its coordinates. What is BC here? B is 2 comma 3. Are you seeing there? So 2 comma 3, and C is how much? Minus 2 comma minus 11. Done. Now the same case. BC is equals to x2 minus x1 whole square. I am writing the number directly. Even you can also write, only one time you can write the formula, no need of every time writing. 1 whole square and minus 1 y2 minus y1. y1 is 3 whole square. It is equals to 16. 4 4 is 16, right? Minus 2 minus 4, 16, and 196, and it is equals to root 212. And when you find out LCM, 253. See, those who are having doubt in finding out roots, do let me know on Zoom class. We will clear it out. Okay. Now we found AB and BC. Now it is a turn now for finding us AC. Now let us do AC. AC equal to, what is A coordinate? 1 comma 5, and C is how much? C, what's the coordinate? Minus 2 comma minus 11. Okay, yeah, in the reader it is given minus 2 comma minus 11. Now AC is equals to, using distance formula, x2 minus x1 whole square, x1 y1 x2 y2. For every point you have to give names, x1 y1 x2 y2. Okay. Now x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, and it is equals to minus 3 whole square. Don't do any mistake in subtraction, whole answer will go wrong. Same sign you have to add, whether it is a subtracting sign also you have to add, because they are of the same family. 3 3s are 9, and 16 into 16, how much it will be? 256, and on addition you will be getting 265, and on square root you will be getting like 5 into 53. If I am trying to split it out in a perfect square, I am not getting it. So I'll just stop it here. I'll just say these many units. Okay. Now I am coming back to the condition. Now AB plus BC should be equal to AC we said. What is AB we got? Root 5 plus 253 is equals to root 5 into 53. Are you seeing here? It is a root 5 term. It is root 53 term. You can't add first of all. Okay? And here it is root 53. Okay, we can say, but root 5 is still also there. So they left hand side is not equal to right hand side. Simply you will say it is not equal. So therefore A comma B comma C are not collinear. Okay. So like this we have completed our question number 3.